You just look like a slut on the podcast.
Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Chelsea.
I was going to do that. And you're watching Disney Channel again.
Da, da.
It felt right. How are you?
I am great. Not a lot. It's not a big week over here. But it is definitely cooler. I'm feeling fall. For me, it's fall. The summer has ended. Fall is here.
I don't know. It's still kind of muggy and hot out. But yeah, it's been kind of like a dull week, which I guess is like okay, right? Like,
right.
Not every week needs to be exciting and fun and crazy.
That's not true.
It's just like, meh.
Work.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we're back to doing this on a Tuesday. So there's not a lot in the week has happened.
Yeah.
So we're still early on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exciting things that could come up.
Yeah. I mean, we have the tennis tournament coming up. That's exciting.
Yeah. And we played this weekend.
I'm really glad we got that in. I had a feeling like we weren't, like we were just going to show up to the tournament without practicing at all, but
I'm glad we did it. I feel a little bit more confident, or at least I felt a little bit more confident until I got moved into the men's league. And now it's not that I feel like I still have some unrealistic confidence in there, but it's the fact that like I'm also in the same league as you.
Yeah.
And your friend Kevin. And these are people that I like know at least how they play.
Yeah.
So I'm like less confident. And there's also some like there's an emotional part there that's like, well, if I lean into my delusion and I win it all, like people are going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And people that I care about. Not that I think you would be super mad at me, but
No, I also don't think you'll beat me. So
I'm hoping that we don't play each other one-on-one. I would still like to win, but also not like beat you together.
I hope the only chance we get to play each other is in the final.
That would be amazing. And we're first and second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First and second.
That would be great.
That'd be great. I'm really hoping you knock out my friend Kevin for me.
I obviously don't know him, but like if I was Kevin, that would piss me off.
Yes. Yeah. He will be pissed off if you do. So
great.
I love that.
And we're staying in the same Airbnb.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I was really surprised. You're pretty good, actually. Like, I thought you were going to be significantly worse.
Thank you.
So that was I'll
take that.
That was a compliment.
Yeah. See, I like to think that I'm decent.
Yeah. There's always room for improvement, all of us. Like, I make such stupid mistakes, and that's what pisses me off, because it's like I know what I'm supposed to do, and like I can't execute it. Like
one thing that I know after practicing, I do feel better, but I know that I'm going to be so angry while I play.
Yeah.
In both, whether I win, I mean, obviously if I lose, but I can just see myself doing dumb things or making dumb mistakes. And I mean, it happened while we were just practicing with each other. And I'm like, I'm going to lose my shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, tennis is really like a game of chess, because it's like, you know, every point kind of counts, but like, it's also, I think tennis is one of like the only sports where like you lose a point and like you have to like quickly focus, because you're winning points like, you know, every like 10-15 seconds, and like you can lose a bunch of points and then still like end up winning the match. I don't know, I can't think of any other sport where you have to be like so
mentally on.
Yeah
That's
why I think it is one of the hardest sports, like at the professional, like highest level, like to be super good at. Like, I think tennis is one of those the hardest sports.
Well, it's gonna be great.
Not for us, obviously.
May the best man win.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly why I would love to win, or even just get a trophy, because it's gonna say first place men's
Yes.
D.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So the league that we're competing in is an LGBT league, and not a lot of the tournaments, they don't have women's brackets, but some do. And then in this one, Chelsea,
The lesbians are just not showing up.
yeah, they're just not.
So here I am.
So Chelsea signed up for one of the women's league, one of the women's brackets, but then there were so few people that signed up, so they canceled it. So Chelsea's like, well, can I play with the men? And like, you know, they do that a lot, so it's fine. I mean, our bracket is going to be like half beginners, half very intermediate level players. So I just hope the draw is nice to both of us, and like we each get a first round win. You know,
I need one win.
yeah,
Or I just need one win.
yeah,
Period.
yeah. But mixed doubles will be really fun. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Fun weekend ahead. So that's an exciting thing for the week to look forward to.
I've had this freaking piece of hair in my mouth since before we started recording, and I can't get it. And I don't know. It's driving me fucking crazy.
Story of my life.
So I got a haircut today. Pause for compliment.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow, stunning. How did they do it?
Right. And I think I told you before
I was going to say, is this your Republican barber?
my barber, he has like a Trump sticker that I noticed like 4 or 5 haircuts ago, and I've been going to him for like a year and a half now. He's a really cool guy, but the Trump thing kind of threw me off. But you know, he cuts my hair. That's as far as our relationship goes. But today, because he knew about Vegas, like he knew about it like a month in advance, and every time I'd see him, he would ask, or months in advance actually. So this was the first time I saw him post Vegas, and he was asking all about it, and he was asking about like gambling in particular, and he was like going on and on like how men do about gambling, and I'm like, okay, just sit here, nod, and smile. And then he's like, yeah, but like I hate gambling with women around because they don't know what they're doing, and I'm like. Then I woke up. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh my God, like it gets worse. And I'm like, I don't know. It kind of sucks because I like him. Like
A Republican and a misogynist?
I know. Groundbreaking. I know. Like, how can I be so surprised? And then on top of it, a Taylor Swift song came on, and I was like, and it kind of got quiet. It was like the first 30 seconds of the song, it was actually quiet because he was talking for most of the time. And I'm like, if he says something about Taylor Swift, I'm gonna say something, because I just like sit there and I don't say anything. I just let him ramble, and,
right?
You know, because you know
you don't say, "Oh yeah, those damn women."
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Can't live with them. Can't live without them.
Yeah, I told you like before, like the haircut I got before going to Vegas. He was like, "Oh, who's all going? Like, how many guys are you going? Like, how many guys are with you?" And I'm like,
and you lied under pressure.
I lied to him. I was like, oh, it's just...
Quit trying to be straight. You'll never be straight. Quit trying to be straight.
This is like such a real thing. It's like internalized homophobia. I lied to him. I was like, yeah, it's like a mix of guys and girls. You know?
Not a single dude on this trip.
Me. I didn't like completely lie. There was a mix of guy and girls.
You're a liar.
But yeah, that. I don't know. It's like... that energy, like that misogynistic energy, it's like hard to like, I don't know, like to be 100% myself. So like, I'm like,
no, I think that's fair.
You
and
know?
you're in a vulnerable state. Like he's got clippers on your hair.
he has a switchblade. He uses a switchblade to, you know, get my edges. So like, if I'm like, hey, I'm gay, he could
just take you out right then and there.
I think about that a lot, actually. That's why
that's an irrational fear.
Do you know what? I think
that's an irrational fear.
But they literally use like maybe not a switchblade, but like a box cutter blade. Like they attach it to a thing, and like they, you know, scrape all my edges. And I actually stopped letting them do my beard like a year or two ago because it's an irrational fear of mine. You know, they go in and they like really cut, and sometimes they nick you, but I think I put it in my brain that like one day they're just gonna on accident and cut my throat. So
That's crazy.
Right.
And not in the like, I want you to shut up kind of way. That's like crazy.
Like, I feel like that's gotta have that's had to have happened in
You have to Google
Final
it.
Destination, one of those movies.
I wouldn't know.
Have you seen any of those?
I'm sure I've seen them at like a slumber party or something, but
there's like 45 of them.
yeah.
But I remember like some of those were crazy. That's why I'm afraid of tanning beds because of Final Destination, because one girl got like trapped in one.
Have you ever tanned?
I feel like that was a subtle read. I promise I'm actually wearing shorts. This isn't my skin. What do you mean? Have I ever like
tanned in a tanning bed?
Yeah, sometimes I would go with my sister and like just because she would drag me, and I would start in the tanning bed. I don't know. Usually do it for like 30 minutes or so. Or is that long? Is that long?
Yeah, 30 minutes is such a long time.
Oh.
You do like 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I was just throwing out a number, but like I feel like it was definitely longer than 10 minutes, no?
I mean 15 max.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it would get too hot, and like after like 5 minutes, I would just like sit outside, and I'm just like,
We are so different. I would cook. I would do it every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you had a membership?
Yeah. And it's a miracle boy. My ex-boyfriend actually had, my high school ex-boyfriend, his mom had one in their house.
Oh.
That's the
God.
South for you.
That was such a thing.
Yeah.
Like tanning, like people just like went to tanning in like those beds. Like that can't be good for you.
It can't. It's a miracle I have great skin.
But for you actually do have pretty good skin.
Thank you.
Yeah. You don't look a day over 33.
Now I want to.
Yeah, for like being white has never been an issue for me. Like it's never Wow.
Shouldn't be an issue for you.
Damn, that's a good one to
Being
clip.
a white man it's never been hard.
You know, being white is just like it's just like always come easy for me. Oh my God. Okay, what I meant to say. Being tan has never been like a goal. Like how like it I feel like it is for a lot of people. Like I think a lot of people associate tanness with attractiveness. You know, like I've always heard like, oh my God, like I'm so hideous right now, like I'm so pale. Like, and for me it's just never really
It's another reason why I'm dreading winter, because I feel less cute when I'm pale.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always looked at it this way, like, because I mean, I've gotten my whole life, like, people will just be like, oh my God, like, you need to get a tan. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Ew. Who says that?
A lot of people say that. And like, in my mind, I'm like, do you know in the ancient times, if you were tan, that meant you were working class and you were working outside. Me, the pale people, we were the kings and the queens because we were inside. So that's how I look at it.
It's still like that in Asia. We had a foreign exchange student from Thailand, and he like could not understand why, like me, my mom, my brother, he's like, why do you guys want to be outside and run? Like it's for them, it's like the whiter the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's like a lot of racism in the Asian countries. I had some friends when I worked in tennis. I had some friends that lived in, I don't want to say like the countries because I don't know. People might know who they are, but they would say how like Indian people were looked down upon because they were darker complexion. Like,
I think it goes with the same idea as like, you have to be outside doing things, which here everybody's like, please let me outside.
Except
for you.
Except for me. Yeah. No, I love my AC. I just like don't know. Like, luckily, if I lived in older times, I wouldn't know any better. But like, I just in my mind, I'm like, how did they do that?
I am royalty indoors.
Yeah, but even then, they didn't have AC. What were they doing? How'd they keep cool? That's what I want to know.
They had people with fans next to them.
Yeah. Even like when they're in bed, like sleeping the whole night.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe you just didn't know. I think that the problem with us is we just know different.
They don't teach that in history. How they keep
I actually would have probably paid attention
Right?
to that.
That stuff is like would be really interesting to me.
Can I give a confession?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about history.
Really?
Not really.
No.
Like when people whip out dates of like wars and I know that I should. I know that it matters. Somebody don't come for me for this, but like I could not be more uninterested, so I just don't retain that information.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things that I have a great memory, so I would memorize it all really quick for a test in school, and then as soon as that test was over,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I don't know. I think history is interesting. I don't think I'm that interested in it, but like I do find it interesting whenever I don't like go out of my way, but I think it's important. I think it's an important subject because, you know, everything that happened in history is like
Right.
the reason why.
Circles back.
Yeah. So I think it's important, but like something can be important and I don't have to be interested in it.
Yeah. Well, and, yeah, I just hear the stories of people that are really glorified, and I'm like, were they really that great?
Yeah. Were they that great?
Yeah.
I know. Like a lot.
Who wrote this biography of you?
Right. Like Abraham Lincoln is credited for like freeing the slaves, but like I think that's like a very simplistic part of history, but like he didn't free slaves because he like loved black people. He did it because there was a financial reason for
it's
it.
politics.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I think history is just like it's interesting. I'll leave it at that.
Anyway, I could go down a wormhole.
Yeah.
Actually, I could because I don't know anything. But
So Chelsea hates history, and I love being white. Is that what I said? I said something like that.
that's gonna get clipped from somebody that's not us. That'll go on the internet.
I actually last week. I don't want to piss people off again, but like one of the polls, it said. Remember the poll that said like, you can be racist to white people. Most people agreed that you can, and I had a couple friends respond to that. One of our friends who is a black woman, she was like, I can't be surprised that people think that, and she said that, you know, the conversation we had explained it really well. And, you know, I don't think every single person that answers the poll necessarily listens to the full episode. So, and I don't think people necessarily read those polls like verbatim and like think about it and then like then vote. But I think people need to learn their history.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Because like you just like simply can't be racist to white people.
I think people are definitely mixing up prejudice and racism.
They think it's the same term.
Right.
And it's not. And I'm not going to school you. If you're interested in learning more about the difference, open
you have
your
a
phone.
Google machine.
Exactly.
Right at your
Exactly.
fingertips.
I use that shit all the time. I'm constantly Googling shit.
What's on your recent Googles now?
Oof.
Let's see.
Don't look.
You're gonna lie.
The last thing I Googled was like US Open tennis scores, but like something stupid. Because remember we were texting. I've been so hungry lately, and I was like Googling about that, and I was gonna like make a joke via text, but I was like, I don't know if this makes sense. So I was like, can a ringworm is what it is? Like people get like ringworm and it's eating their
Are you
stomach.
gonna tell us that you wanted a ringworm?
Or like maybe I had one because I've been so hungry.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Maybe does that make sense? Like a ringworm eats like the stuff that's in your.
So the Google didn't give you the information
It was
that you
so
were looking
like
for?
badly.
Well, ringworm. I don't think it's a ringworm is like something that you get from like a cat. I think that is like a circle and like a skin.
Or like a bug. Like that. Don't people like?
It's what is it?
Do you know what I mean though?
It's a worm.
That's why I know.
A tapeworm.
A tapeworm.
A tapeworm.
Tapeworm. Is that an actual worm?
I have no idea.
Well,
what are we even talking about right now?
The last thing I Googled was like, but I searched ringworm and it wasn't giving me what I like, so I couldn't form
Naturally.
It couldn't let me tell a joke. So, but yeah, I've been so hungry lately.
I think, well, I mean, when you're working out and now you've entered a new bracket of your 30s, and that's just where we are. We're tired and we're hungry.
You said something and I didn't even like question it yesterday. You were like, yeah, that's what happens when you turn 30. You just become hungry. And I was just like, okay. You were just like, you just pulled that out of your ass, right?
That was actually a joke.
Okay.
You should have laughed.
I didn't laugh. I was just like,
oh, thank you. Okay.
Do you laugh like that? Like when you find something, if I text you something funny, do you like actually laugh out loud?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. I have.
Okay.
I definitely have. I will giggle. I will laugh out loud to TikToks in my apartment.
Once in a while, I will. Probably not nearly as much as you. Your neighbors probably think you're insane.
Probably.
Or that you're with someone.
I also, they definitely think somebody else lives in my apartment because I'll sing to Samson all the time, or a lot of the times I'll walk into my apartment and say, "Hey, baby," kind of in like a boyfriend kind of way. But I'm also talking to Samson, but it's also to let some of the guys on my floor, like, because I leave my door.
You leave your door what?
I leave my door unlocked sometimes. Nobody knows where I live.
That's an issue that we need to talk about. Yeah, can we unlock that a little bit? The fact that you
unlock it?
Yeah, I use that on purpose. I'm a comedian.
Listen. Well, now I'm gonna have to,
and I'm glad. That's why I'm continuing this conversation, because you need to lock your fucking door. You lock it at night
when I'm in there. Yes.
Okay.
I lock it when I'm in my apartment.
We shouldn't talk about this too much.
Yes, my door is locked when I am home, but I don't know what it's just like. I don't want to dig through my bag and like dig out my keys when the building is locked.
That's true. You live in a different situation than the average New Yorker, where there's a few steps to get to your door.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, who's coming up to that particular floor?
What are the odds?
What are the odds is what I'm saying.
To apartment. No, I'm kidding.
But like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
And I have a giant ass dog with a loud bark. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
I have a giant ass dog with a loud bark. I just don't see somebody coming for me.
Yeah.
I just don't. And so it's the convenience of it all. I'll leave it on, or I'll leave it unlocked an entire weekend when I go away. Now I won't, I guess.
That is wild to me.
I mean, I've been there for 9 months.
Girl, knock on wood.
I know.
Friday,
now I have to quit.
Good. You need to lock it every day.
You've created an inconvenience in my life.
Let me ask you a question. Is your door unlocked right now?
Well, by the time this podcast airs, it won't. But yeah, absolutely, it's unlocked right now.
Okay. Just wondering. Last Friday, Tegan and I went to Pencil Factory, and on the way, like, I was so drunk. Friday was a really drunken night for Tegan and I. But I was like, should we just like barge into Chelsea's apartment and like scare the fucking shit out of her? We didn't, obviously. You would know. But your door was probably locked by then because you were fast asleep.
If I was asleep, it's absolutely locked.
Yeah.
No way am I leaving my door unlocked when the prize is in the apartment. There's nothing like, honestly, I think the thing that I would get most upset about if somebody were to steal from me would be my beanbag.
Your dog, maybe?
They wouldn't steal my dog.
I would.
No way. No way he would let you.
And he also wouldn't like fit in my apartment. He's like the size of my apartment.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. Just don't take my beanbag. Mm-hmm. And that would be really heavy too.
Mm. Yeah. Anyways, lock your door, kids. What else? Rolodex. What else we got?
Oh, I felt like we should talk about on this one. I feel like we've been giving men out there maybe not a fair shot.
Yeah.
I listened to our last episode, rolled it back, and I was like, you're kind of cold. And maybe I'm just going to like warm this up a little bit. So I was saying we could talk about green flags in men in dating. That it's just like things that we like.
Green flags.
Green flags.
This is going to be tough.
Instead of X.
This is going to be a really short podcast.
One for me. Oh, when I love when a guy calls me Chels. Right out the gates. You don't have to know me. You gave me a sweet little nickname, Chels. Hey, Chels, what's up? It automatically makes me feel like I'm like, okay, I like him.
You mean upon like first meeting, like when you match with someone and their first message to you is?
If I match with someone and their first message is, hey, Chels, what's up? I'm like, yeah, he's cool.
I like that.
I'd respond to that
way
more than I'd respond to literally anything else.
Yeah. I like when I people in general say my name. That sounded weird.
That's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I think there's something. There's something psychological about that. It makes it feel personal. It makes me.
It's people's favorite thing to hear. It's your name.
Really?
It's the most common thing. Yeah. That is it's like a sales tactic too, but it's also just, it makes people feel important and known.
Yeah. So especially when someone that like you're attracted to says it. Yeah.
And you give me a cute little nickname, shorten it.
Yeah.
Hey, Chels.
Yeah. I've always liked Bryan.
I'm like, I feel safe with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that, but yeah. Yeah. Even when friends like call me Bryan, I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Should I call you Bri? I've never called you Bri.
No. What do you call me? My name?
Yeah.
Little bitch.
Little bitch. Big B.
Do not call me Big B. You can call me Lil B, but not Big B. Big old Chelsea in the house.
That big T.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Other green flags? Do you have any others?
I like when guys have videos in their profile, especially if the video is like quirky, cute. Voice notes, not usually a win, but videos are great.
It depends what they are.
There's not many videos that I like haven't liked though.
If it's a video of them singing.
But you think I don't think I've come across a guy like singing for real.
Oh my god, gay Hinge. There's all these like Broadway like theatrical singers, and now I sound like a hater.
I love a guy that doesn't sing for real, like that sings as a joke. I don't think that's cringe.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Yeah.
Videos. Yeah, I don't mind videos but I don't think I would ever post one on mine. Do you have any on yours?
No, but I kind of think I should.
Like what?
I don't know, my laugh. Just like one of these clips.
Yeah. One of these clips?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know. That's like a scary thought. Like someone that like I like watching this, but someone.
I don't feel like my internet presence does me any favors whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Almost like don't want somebody to have. Some days I feel like I could fully delete Instagram. I think I want to be on there. Like I want to see other people's stuff, but I don't feel like I need to have a profile. At the same time, I post a story every single day. So I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I want attention, but I don't want attention.
Plus, the gratification
story of my life.
Yeah, of posting and getting likes, as we have spoken about before. Like, I don't know. Where else am I going to get that high? There's nothing like
I guess I'd have to go out in real life.
Yeah. But
I wonder if it would push me to, if I had no social media whatsoever, none. Would I want to go out more?
I would love that because you teased me at the beginning of our friendship. You were going out, and now, lucky if I get you on the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
That's not entirely true. Why's your flashlight on?
I don't know. That's so annoying.
I will say I do go out a lot less.
You do.
I also kind of like that. But I love you.
I love that you love not going out.
I love you and being home by 10 p.m.
Okay. I want to make a more conscious effort of not going crazy Friday. That way we can do like brunch Saturday and see where the day and night takes us.
I would love that.
Let me
Let me mull that over.
let me think about that.
Let me mull that over.
You know.
And I will make a more conscious effort to sometimes come out on Friday.
Okay. You rarely do, but yeah, you
Sometimes
make a guest appearance.
Yeah.
It's always nice. It's always such a treat.
Oh, thanks. See, compliments like that are I need positive affirmation to do things.
Do I not compliment you enough?
You could do more.
All right.
All right. So I think it's time to dive into the rest of the relationship controversial opinions because we had so many.
Yeah, and those were good last week.
Yeah.
They were good ones.
Sparked some good conversations. I feel like I learned something about myself.
Yeah. Yeah, they were it was like because for a lot of the times I have like the controversial opinions like in my possession for longer than you do, and I feel like I have a little bit of time to kind of think about it, but those ones I didn't really. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself as well.
Great.
Okay. All right, first one. If you can't handle distance, it ain't real. And then like the sub comment says, if you can't do distance, you're not really down for that person.
But it's also just like, how long? Are we talking like pursuing a long distance relationship long term?
Right.
Or like, is this somebody went away for a couple weeks?
Right. Also, it's like, at what point? Like,
right.
What if you just met them?
So I actually, one of my exes, we met about 2 months. He was in the military. We met about 2 months before he got deployed for like 6 months.
Shit.
And he asked me to be his girlfriend beforehand. Like,
before you knew he was going to be deployed, or did you know?
Oh, I knew, but it got like 2 months in, and we had to have a conversation of just like, okay, this is too much too soon. Like, I can't be your devoted military girlfriend here after 2 months. But then he came back and we dated for 3 years. So
you broke up after those 2 months?
We broke up and then got back together when he got back. But we also like still talked while he was gone. It wasn't like it was just kind of like, hey, being exclusive right now is not.
I'm not going to close myself off.
Right. For 6 months for somebody that I hardly know. Yeah. And it just felt like, which I think the military does this too. It just adds an extra level of seriousness. And I'm like, this feels like a very, very serious relationship. Me like calling or FaceTiming my deployed boyfriend.
Yeah.
Very early on. And I just was not.
Yeah.
With it. But
it's tough. I mean, so I was in a really long-term relationship, and within the first year, and this is like college, he went and studied abroad for like 2.5, 3 months. We stayed together. That was really freaking hard. I remember just like feeling like I was so depressed and alone, but got through that, whatever. And then like the last maybe few years of the relationship, we lived like 3-4 hour driving distance from each other. That was also tough, but like we would see each other almost every weekend, or if not every other weekend. We would have to like drive back and forth, and it's just like that's a lot of time spent just like traveling. And but I think it's unfair to say like if you're not down to do distance, it's not real. I think it just depends. I think at that point when I was doing the 3-hour drive every other weekend or so, at that point I was already like 4 years deep in the relationship.
Right.
So,
like a foundation has to be built.
Yeah.
Prior. And then I still think it's tough. Like you have to both be really good at communicating and having like being very clear about what you want from each other. And like there are times when I'm like, yeah, long distance would be great because I wouldn't have somebody permanently here.
I think I remember liking it to an extent.
but then there are parts when I don't know if like my communication is great enough to sustain that, but who knows?
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a very long time, so.
I haven't done a relationship in a really long time.
Facts.
Maybe this long distance relationship is exactly what we need right now.
Should we just like mail or order bride somebody from another country?
I'm down.
Okay.
90-day fiance.
Yeah. Checking each other's text is bad. Going through each other's phone is not healthy.
I mean, I agree. I think if you're getting to the point where you have to like check the person's phone, but first, there's probably a reason.
Right. Trust is lost.
Right.
And I think for that, this makes me sound like this feels like Shark Tank. And for that, I'm out.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So like for that, I would agree. Like checking the phones is bad.
That is like a conversation that I've had while dating someone, because you like talk about like, oh, I did this, and I definitely have checked some phones.
Oh yeah, we all have
in my day. But at this point in my life, I do feel like I'm like, if I'm feeling the urge and I'm not feeling secure enough to like actually have a conversation with you about something that is bothering me, then I think that's the real issue.
Yeah, totally. Also, if you're doing that because of a previous relationship, you're getting into a new one, and like that's like part of your like personality, major red flag.
Right.
Oh my God, could you imagine like you're like a month in dating someone and like they try to look through your phone, like for and you've never given them a reason for anything. I would break up right then and there.
Yeah, I don't think I would do. I do not think that I would handle that well.
Me either.
I can see myself right now. What'd you find?
Yeah.
Tell me what you found.
Yeah.
And then
the thing is,
start with the hands.
if you go looking for something,
You're going to find something.
You're going to find something.
Right. And it's probably going to be me texting you guys in a group chat, texting my brother and sister, something that you did that annoyed the fuck out of me that I can actually get over, but I don't want to I don't want to address. It's not worth addressing, but you're going to find that and you're going to get your feelings hurt.
So,
and it's unnecessary.
And the only person to blame is you for looking for my phone. Okay, and let's end that one. Not posting relationship stuff on social media. Period. What? Just because I don't post mine, don't mean I ain't got one. My relationship is for me, not for social media. Okay, so I guess the controversial opinion is saying it's like better to not post relationship stuff on social media.
I mean, I don't necessarily. I feel like you can post whatever you want, but I do kind of agree with it's kind of like the longer and sappier the post, typically the not so great the relationship actually is in real life. I'm all about like a soft launch or even like a hard launch or something like that. But
hey guys, really glad to share them in a relationship.
Oh, you better believe that would be coming.
You know what's wild?
What?
Remember on Facebook when we would like literally put, it's complicated with so-and-so?
Did you do that?
No, I was.
Okay, I would never.
No, but that was a thing.
I would never.
I've seen it. I would like it.
I would definitely put like in a relationship. But I feel like that's one of those things that people would post literally for attention.
Yeah.
Kind of like unspoken prayer request.
Yeah. Then people in the comments would be like, what happened? I'm like, this is crazy. We're doing this here?
Okay, I saw something. Somebody was like, please pray for my girls. And everybody was like, I feel like it was something tragic that happened. And somebody had the audacity on there to be like, what happened? Which I respect because I would also like to know.
Right.
But I'm just like, you can't just say that.
I know. Thank you, but don't do that. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, 2 things on the posting of relationship stuff. 1, I can't with have you ever seen like, I know someone who follows me on Instagram. They have a couples account where they put everything they post. Like the count is literally like both of their names.
No.
Right? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Listen, I don't know what's up in their relationship, and I'm not going to put this on them, but to me, as an outsider looking in, that screams trust issues. Like, not
And they
only
look so cute. Like their profile is so cute, but it's just like, but in the same way, it's also kind of creepy.
a joint account.
Yeah, a joint account. Ugh, I can't.
Couldn't. There's no way.
And there's another thing is I've noticed with certain couples, like for an example, the girl posts her guy all the time. Then you go to
Man Crush Monday.
all of it, and then you go to his. She's nowhere to be found.
Over my dead body. Over my dead body. You're lucky if you get a finger in my post. if you are not willing to do the same.
Right? I can't do that. Ick.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about that one. Everyone you dated before adulthood doesn't count. If we dated when I was still in primary school or high school, don't stand somewhere and say I'm your ex. I beg you.
I disagree.
Yeah, I feel like you could have like a very serious relationship in high school.
I think those relationships built me,
Yeah,
and probably not in the good ways.
yeah, that's like all my favorite like movies and stuff. Like they're about like relationships in high school and stuff.
Right.
Those are real to me.
Also, like, first for so many things, you know?
Like what?
Love. First to see me naked.
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
your first kiss.
yeah, your first kiss, your first breakups, your first like real heartbreak.
Yeah, I think like. Yeah, you can be like in love. It's like a different degree, but like you can be like young and in love.
Right. Now, okay, I will say, like, I had two in high school that I would definitely to this day be like, you guys are my ex-boyfriends. You're in the club.
Mm-hmm.
But any before that, like in middle school, I broke up and got together with guys every
Period.
Exactly. Like, you didn't write me a note this period, we're breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Next period, you write me a note, okay, we're back together. Like, yeah, those don't count. Those guys are not my exes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had some foundational ones.
Yeah.
In high school.
I agree with you on that. I didn't even have any relationships until college. Like my first relationship was in college. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Last one. Your partner isn't responsible for your happiness. Relying on your partner to make you happy will eventually ruin your relationship. They are not meant to be the source of happiness in your life. You yourself are. I agree to that. I agree with that for the most part.
Yes. Same.
I don't think they are the sole person or thing responsible for your happiness, but they should definitely contribute to it.
Right. They should contribute. But I also picture a gaslighty man being the one that says this. I am not responsible for your happiness. And saying it in a condescending way.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm like, okay, well, you're also not, like you said, you're not adding anything to my life, so why are you in it?
Right.
Yeah, you're not responsible for the foundational happiness.
I think they have a responsibility to make you happy.
In a way.
Right.
Yeah. I should feel cared about.
Exactly. So,
I should feel like you care about my happiness. Not that you should feel like you're the source of it.
Yeah.
But you should care whether I'm happy or not.
right. But I think I know where this opinion is going. It's the people that like really make their relationship their entire personality, and it's like the only thing they have going for them. And I think that is a huge problem.
Right.
I feel like I've witnessed this so many times, more so when I was younger, where like a friend would get into a relationship and they let go of everyone else. Like they stop talking to their friends, and then they like wonder why they have no friends when that relationship ends. They wonder why the relationship ends, and then they wonder why no one's there for them when it does end. And it's like that. I think that's where that was going, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Same.
That's like one thing I like personally like with the breakup that I had with the long-term relationship. I never, throughout that long-term relationship, I maintained all my friendships. And so like when I was leaving that, it wasn't such a hard adjustment for me. Like it was just kind of like I had a lot of people there for me. So like if you take anything from this podcast, please take that.
I think that is something that I don't know how to say this, value that I'll take for the rest of my life, is that I think friendships should be more important.
Yeah.
Or just as important.
Yeah.
They should be a valued relationship in your life.
Yeah, totally. I think people should really, really cherish those friendships. You know, I think a lot of friendships are kind of like throwaways. Like maybe you just are fun acquaintances that like party together. But, you know, if you have like a solid core friend or friends, hold on to them dearly because you need them.
Well, and I feel like that puts a damper on your relationship if you were expecting like everything that you need from one person. Like there's no freaking way a straight man can deliver everything that I need from human connection.
Right.
There's no freaking way.
Right, because like they probably won't even share a lot of the same interests. So like, what do you...
Exactly. So you need people instead of like, well, and you see like just... I want to say the Barbie movie, even though I do believe that every man should watch the Barbie movie. But even that, for example, like girls like, no, you have to come with me, or like dragging them to do things like to go dance on a night out or something. And like when guys don't want to do that, I feel like that's fine. Do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to find somebody, typically my friends, who want to go do the things that I want to do. And I think you'll be happier overall having that. Period. And that's how you have a successful relationship.
Once again, we know it all.
It's empty.
Wait. I have something to ask you. Will you track your sleep schedule? Okay, I think we can end it there.
And that's the pod.
Bye.
Love ya.